Hi there, good afternoon. This is the island of Bozcaada, a Turkish island right off the mainland of Turkey. I can see there a bunch of windmills and various other buildings on the mainland. A 30-minute ferry ride here that costs 100 Turkish lira. That is just $3. Look at this cute little contraption. There you can see the castle. Definitely going to be showing that today. So today is Friday, August 30th, 2024. Currently about 80 degrees Fahrenheit. That is 27 degrees Celsius. Just perfect. Nice and sunny, warm, not too hot. Great little breeze there. And the plan is to show you much more of this amazing island of Bozcaada, formerly Tenedos. It was a Greek island for a very long time, became part of Turkey about a century ago. But I'm not going to get too lost in the information for now, because I have a mission in order to make this tour of the island happen, which is to rent something. There is only one rental car agency coming up on Google Maps. Maybe there are others that just aren't coming up for some reason, but there are various ways in which the renting of a vehicle of some sorts. Oh boy, this guy, if he'd made a right turn, he would have been very, very unhappy. They have these all over. So, as I said, it is a Friday, the Muslim holy day. Turkey is, of course, Muslim. So, I don't know if maybe the rental car place will be closed for that reason. Also, it is still August, the end of the peak season, but still busy, and so they could be all rented out. Here we go. Things looking covered up there, so not sure if that's bad news, but also there are some quads, four-wheelers. Okay, this is a busy scene here. But there's a guy there too, so maybe this will work. Okay, I'll let you know in a second. All right, so there is good news and bad news. The bad news is that he wouldn't rent me a motorbike without a motorcycle license. It's the same situation in Greece. And the quads are super expensive, $60 for a day. But the good news is he had one quad left, and I got it. I'm going to shell it out, because otherwise I would have been pretty much unable to tour the island. There is a bus, I think this might be it. But that is just not the same at all. Well, for one thing, it looks super packed. But having to be stuck on waiting for buses, and then you can't stop where you want to stop and do things the way I like to do them. Go find the cool random ruins and less popular beaches, etc. So it's all around actually good news. Got a bike. And if you remember the situation yesterday, which occurred right here, the bank over there, which I need to go to now and get my other 5,000 lira to finish paying for my hotel, and then the ATM's down there. But hopefully the ATM here will work so that I can get that cash. But there was good news with paying for the quad there, which is that he was willing to accept US dollars because I didn't have nearly enough lira, so it was 2,000 Turkish lira to rent the quad. There's the ATM, which is about $60 US. And so I would have then had to make a withdrawal. So he was willing to give me Turkish lira in change for $100 US, and he gave me a great exchange rate as well. So I gave him $100. That covered the cost, no extra deposit or anything like that. And then he gave me back 1,400 Turkish lira for the extra $40. So now I'm in much better shape as far as having more Turkish lira to spend in the coming days here in Turkey. So, well, I just kind of screwed up, and I think somebody else is going to be in line in front of me. Oh boy, and somebody else. All right, let's do this. A market here, honey, herbs, spices. So mission accomplished. Finally, that saga is done. Got my 5,000 lira to pay the bill at the hotel. I will pay that when I get back at the end of the day. Okay, nice scene here. People hanging out in the shade. They're offering a lot of the same things. Looks like jams. Tables for eating, so just a really lovely main town here. And so next I'm going to walk over and go explore the castle before getting out of here and seeing more of the island. And wanted to clarify that I didn't have to leave my passport or anything else as a deposit for the quad. Okay, let's go see the really nice kind of fancy restaurant scene on the bay. This is where I ate yesterday. Had some really good fettuccine alfredo. So there is the ferry that will take you across to the mainland of Turkey. There is the castle. Incredible, incredible scene here. And there again you can see the mainland just right there. It is so close. So these restaurants yesterday evening were all really lively. Amazing Bozcaada. I asked the man who I rented the quad from how to pronounce it. It's not Bozcaada, Bozcaada. Kind of like that. I'm sure I'm not getting it exactly right. Okay, let's go get inside the castle. Here we are. Going inside. 30 Turkish lira entrance fee. The repair epitaph of Bozcaada Fortress, the era of Mahmud II. 1816, 1231. I guess that's what we were seeing up above the entrance. Site plan, water ditch, harbor gate, outer fortress, inner fortress, bastions, water well, cistern, lighthouse, dungeons, fountain. So here is some information. There was a castle on the island before the 14th century of undocumented construction and date. It was possibly built by the Phoenicians, Romans, or Venetians. So that is really unknown when they're not sure if it was the Phoenicians, Romans, or Venetians, considering the totally different time frames, especially between the Romans and the Venetians. And so that is the current president of Turkey, Erdogan, and on the left, the first president of Turkey, Ataturk. And there goes the ferry. However, the castle was demolished after the War of Chioggia between Venice and Geneva on the advice of the Pope, when Mehmet II of the Ottoman Empire conquered the island in 1455. He rebuilt the castle. In July 1656, during the Cretan War, a Venice fleet commanded by Giacomo Loredano captured the castle, but Ottomans under Kopulu Mehmet Pasha recaptured the castle in August 1657. Soon after the reconquest, the castle underwent a great renewal. A second renewal was carried on in 1815 by the Sultan Mahmud II. Fortress Mosque. The mosque was built along with the fortress by Fatih the Conqueror. It was rebuilt in the reign of Suleiman the Magnificent after Bozcaada was retrieved from the Venetians. Interesting wording there. The destroyed mosque was rebuilt by Mehmed IV in 1660. In his itinerary, Evliya Çelebi mentions that there was a mosque dedicated to a sultan, as well as houses reserved for imams, Muslim religious leader, and muezzins, the person who makes the call for prayer at the mosque. So I'm not sure where that mosque was. Looking forward to seeing the views from up here. The dungeons. Being the first part of the inner fortress, this area housed the dungeons in which criminals were imprisoned. Bozcaada had also been used as a place for exile and confinement by the Ottoman Empire. Anyone who was confined in a fortress due to the crimes they committed was called kalaband. Many empire dignitaries were exiled to this island. The most important person among them was the Grand Vizier Halil Hamit Pasha. He was sent to exile and executed by beheading on April 27, 1785. His body was buried in the garden of Alibey Mosque. So look how close the Turkish mainland is. Almost looks swimmable, but it isn't. Unless you're a super person, which there are a few out there. Okay, are these gravestones? So Greek. A 1857, 1882. And then here, I guess this is also Greek, but in a, different style of writing, 1886. Again, Greek. 1896, 1882, 1867, all Greek. The Stairs to Nowhere. I guess there was a staircase continuing up there that was filled in or something. The fortress was the subject of a constant dispute between the Venetians and the Genoese. Upon the treaty on August 8, 1381, the war ended. Accordingly, the island was marked as a neutral zone, and the walls of the fortress in the island were destroyed. The people of the island were evacuated and sent to Crete. During the reign of Mehmed the Conqueror, a new fortress was built on the ruins. Wow, what a strange thing. They couldn't resolve their dispute, so they just kind of canceled the island as a place to live. Okay, let's go see much more of the island. Got the wheels. So I actually went back to my room, had lunch, paid the bill, and so I'm now free to roam. So in the interior of the island here, first thing, stop at a gas station and put a little gas in this thing, and then let's see what there is to see. I haven't done any searching yet for the best things to see on the island. The lady at my hotel recommended one beach, which is probably the most popular beach, but it isn't big, so just gonna do a bit of a random exploring and then probably search online, also see what else we can find to see on this lovely little known Turkish island in the Aegean Sea. Let's do it. And here we are already on the other side. Look at all those ships out there. I wonder if they're waiting to get approval to pass through the Dardanelles Strait. Just a guess, but that's a lot of ships to be sitting in one spot there. Look at all these cars and look at all those people. Question is, do I even want to stop here? This is Ayazma Beach. As I said, looking very, very popular. Well, I do want to take a closer look, so I'm gonna park it quick. Here we go. So, yeah, no. It's a really nice beach. The water looks amazing. I am so ready to get in that water. But not here. So it is time to do a little searching on the phone, see what else I can find as far as beaches and whatever else. Gotta be somewhere less crowded than this. So Ayazma Beach is right there, and next to it is Sulubache Beach, which is less popular, still quite popular it looks like, but really quite nice. You can see it wrapping all the way around a little point there, and then another beach there. So very tempting to stop here, but I also found online this cove. It is just a few minutes drive away the other direction, which maybe will be a little less popular and also perhaps more protected because it is more windy here. So let's go check that one out. And I suspect that as long as there's nothing especially wrong with it, I will jump in the water there because it is hot. I'm ready to get wet. So there's the cove down there. Definitely not a secret, but doesn't look too crowded either. Looks like a great spot to take a swim. So this is Berrak Cove, and I want to go to one of the ends that is less crowded. Which end? Looks quite rocky there. Lots more room down there. Let's go for it. So for anyone who happens to remember my backpacking adventure in the Trinity Alps of Northern California where a deer ate my sarong, got a new one. Actually got two new ones. Alright, I am so ready for this. Here we go, feet in the crystal clear waters. Okay, the sand ends, so here we go. It gets a little more challenging on the rocks. And it is quite shallow, so it looks like I'm going to have to go a ways to actually get swimming. But not too far. Let's get into it. Goggles. I have them in the backpack here, but I can see without them that it is very, very clear water. Not too much to see though as far as fish or anything else. And now it's nice and sandy right here. So it is just ultimate. I needed this so bad. I was seriously like getting on the verge of feeling heat stroke. So another great little bay here. Look at this one. This island is absolutely exceeding expectations. I've just seen a little stretch of the coast, and all 4 of these spots have been really nice. The only, issue being the first beach being so crowded, but you have lots of other options. And keep in mind, this is peak season. Really, this weekend is the end of peak season because it is August 30th, Friday. And so once it goes into September, then things quiet down considerably. And so after this weekend, like next Monday, things should be a lot mellower. A lot of places still, the most popular places will still be plenty busy, but there will be a considerable drop in the tourism in much of the beach spots around the Mediterranean. So out there you can see, looks like there was a forest fire. And so I'm headed down the coast this way to a spot called Aquarium Cove. Apparently it is a place where you can see fish in the water. So looking forward to that. So there was another nice beach around the corner there, and then yet another one right here. Great spot. Look at that water. This island is absolutely jam-packed with great beaches. So this is Aquarium Cove, pretty popular spot. So there's 2 different little bays. And then over here seems to be more crowded. Well, maybe I can get in the water over here. Yeah. Jump off a rock. Really cool little point here wrapping around. Looks like a good walk. Backpack right there. And going in with the sandals on, kind of a murky spot here, but it clears up over there, it looks like. First impressions are the water definitely isn't as clear here as at the other beach, but maybe it will get a little bit better over there. A couple of gray fishes, but not much so far. Couple of fishies, but Nothing too impressive, and I don't really like the water quality. I so just prefer when it is like crystal clear. It is such a different feeling. And also it is just very crowded and noisy here. So I'm going to get out of the water. So it is now about 9:45 p.m. I was in the room working away there and then headed out to find a little something to munch. I got a couple of hamburgers, little like hamburgers at a little kind of shop on the street for 170 Turkish lira. That is like $6. And as you can see, it is still very busy. So one thing that I forgot to mention that I learned, I think yesterday, is that today is Turkey's Victory Day, a national holiday. And so that is partly explaining the crowds, that it is just so busy, plus the fact today's Friday, so Muslim holy day, and then going into the weekend and the last weekend of August. And so all of that adds up to a very busy island, and also might explain why my room was so expensive. Whereas when I stayed in Ankara and Çanakkale, then I had those rooms for like $30-something. But here it was 157 bucks. It must be because it's Victory Day today, and so my 3 days here just happened to land right on the Victory Day. I didn't know about that earlier. And then being a popular island, one of the few Turkish islands, then there you go. That pretty well explains it. So that is most likely it for Bozcaada, because tonight is my last night, and I had really wanted to stay longer, but when I looked around, then there just really wasn't anything else available, probably once again because of that Victory Day. For tomorrow, maybe like on Sunday and Monday, it would have been easier to find somewhere, but for tomorrow, it's just looking kind of impossible. So unless I find something last minute, then it looks like I will be taken off tomorrow. The plans are still a little undetermined, even if I leave tomorrow. But something will definitely happen. All right, back at the water, the very cute harbor here, the nice restaurants. But I just got my bag of burgers. Gonna go for that. Keep it simple and cheap and head back to the room. Tomorrow is another day. We'll see what happens. More coming. Have a good one. See ya.